Hi guys, welcome or welcome back. Imagine undergoing a life-threatening operation and still being fully conscious because the anesthesia you administered isn't working. What would you do? What can you do even in that circumstance? Well, today we are watching and reacting to a movie titled Awake, which portrays a billionaire who knows exactly what that feels like. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to Movie Recaps. Today I will show you a crime, drama, mystery film from 2007 titled Awake. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Each year, over 21 million people receive general anesthesia. The vast majority go to sleep peacefully, and they remember nothing. 30,000 of these people, however, are not so fortunate. They find themselves unable to sleep, trapped in a phenomenon known as anesthesia awareness. These victims are completely paralyzed and cannot scream for help. They are awake. Clayton Beresford Jr. is one of those people, but his surgeon, Dr. Jack Harper, doesn't know this. He sits at his office, staring at a picture of his medical team as he laments having lost his best friend Clayton on the operation table while going through a heart transplant. Jack knows that no matter how much medicine advances, we cannot control when people die, and he wonders if Clayton knew what would happen to him as he remembers how it all started. Clayton is a young billionaire that took over his father's company after he died and suffers from a heart condition that has put him on the wait list for a heart transplant, which may take a while because of his blood type. He is also dating Samantha Sam Lockwood, his mother's personal assistant, but they're keeping their relationship secret because his mom wouldn't approve. In the privacy of Sam's apartment, they are incredibly happy, but whenever they must go out into the world, Sam is rather bothered by the frustration of having to hide. One morning, Clayton spends an unusual amount of time underwater in the tub having morbid thoughts, but Sam helps him bring his good mood back. They make love and have breakfast together at her place, and before leaving their separated ways, Sam hurries to pick up her mail before he notices. Clayton returns home to his mother, Lilith, and has breakfast again with her before going to work. During his lunch break, Clayton's doctor and close friend Jack takes him fishing, which makes him feel a bit guilty when he thinks his father wouldn't approve. Clayton is afraid he'll never fill his shoes. Afterward, he goes with Jack to the hospital he works at while telling him he's finally gotten a ring and a marriage license.
First of all, it must feel really scary. Like it must be really scary to still be conscious as you are being operated on. And you can't scream, you can't ask for help, like you can't do anything. Oh my goodness. Wow. If you know anyone who has experienced that, or if you have experienced that, share your experience in the comments and what happened. I mean, can a hospital be sued for this? Because, whoop. And why do I feel like the doctor seems too old to be Clayton's best friend? I mean, you can't, I mean, you choose your friends, you choose your friends, but I don't know, it's just not seeming practical to me. Clayton looks so young, and then the doctor looks like he's almost in his 40s, but hey, some people have older best friends, so I get it. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's continue.
He can't bring himself to propose to Sam yet because Lilith still doesn't know about them and he's scared to tell her. Jack complains a bit about his own life in return, telling Clayton all about rubbish malpractice lawsuits and the 4 they have sued him for, which Clayton thinks it's a disgrace because he's only been trying to save people's lives. Jack thinks people simply can't deal with the grief and need someone to blame. He also thinks Clayton can't accept facts either, so he takes him to an operating room and makes him lay down on the table so he can get used to the idea of what will happen to him when he finally goes through the transplant. There's a chance he may die during the procedure, and to drive the point home, he even describes the gruesome details. Jack thinks Clayton can't risk it any longer. He should tell his mom about Sam and marry her before it's too late. Jack allows Clayton to leave when Dr. Putnam comes to pick him up for another operation. Sam is waiting for him outside as they talk on the phone at the same time, but he ignores his presence when his mother stops by in their car, not ready for her to see them together yet, which frustrates Sam rather badly. In the car, Lilith has the company of
Girl, if you don't want to claim you in public, then how embarrassing. What? He just walked past her like He didn't even acknowledge it. He didn't even say, oh, hi. Like, that, if I was his mom, that would look more suspicious to me. And going back to Jack showing Clayton like what he will feel like when he undergoes the heart operation, can doctors do that? Like, okay, over there he didn't give Clayton the anesthesia, so I get it. He was just trying to drive home a point that maybe life is too short to, he better tell his mom about he and his girlfriend now. Okay, let's continue. But just walking past somebody you were just with this morning, that is like, what? He just walked past her like she was nothing to be acknowledged. Like her presence was just like, who are you? But it's like, that is your mom's personal assistant. So you just walking past it is even more suspicious. You could at least have waved and said hi.
Dr. Nair, one of the most important surgeons in the country. They're worried about Clayton and his decision of having Jack as his doctor. He was the man on call when Clayton had his first attack, and they became very close since then. But friendship doesn't make up for skill. Nair has operated on presidents while Jack has 4 lawsuits under his name. But this doesn't matter to Clayton, who sticks to his decision. Later that night, Clayton...
Yeah, another thing that is a red flag to me is the narrator mentioned that Jack, his best friend, has 4 more practice lawsuits against him. 4 more practice. Look, if it's 1, we can say that, it's just a coincidence. If it's 2 times, 2 lawsuits, we can just pass it off as another coincidence. But 3, 4, something is wrong. Something is not right somewhere. Something needs to be investigated. His best friend needs to be investigated. Somebody has 4 malpractice lawsuits under his belt. Like some achievement. And you're still choosing knowingly to subject yourself to his services because he's your best friend. I'm sorry, but I would rather go for the person who has operated on presidents who are still living. Like, what? What does he mean by skill outweighs friendship? Or what? I mean, friendship outweighs skill. Like, what? Is he serious? Does he want to die? I mean, we know that he died. But is he thinking? Is he going to sign a waiver before he gets to that operation bed? Because I mean, the red flags are clear. 4 more practice lawsuits, and you are still willing to subject yourself to be treated by this person, to be operated on by this doctor that has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 more practice lawsuits pending. Okay, Clayton
goes to a company party and manages to close a business deal with a very important Japanese investor. Afterward, he has a drink and plays cards with his mother, who makes him feel guilty when she says he can't hide anything from his mother. When Lilith is getting ready for bed, she asks Clayton if he remembers his father Clayton Sr., who died on Christmas when he was a little kid. Clayton mostly remembers the way he fell down the stairs while dressed as Santa, and the only thing he can think of from when he was alive is that he smiled a lot. Their talk is suddenly interrupted by Sam, who asks Lilith to sign some papers before she heads home. Feeling guilty over the look she gives him.
What a way to die. Oh, so sad. But I have a feeling his mom knows. I mean, she just threw a jab at him. She just, gave him a chance to come clean, and he didn't. By telling him that he can't hide anything from his mom. Let's wait and see how it unfolds.
Feeling guilty over the look she gives him, Clayton follows her outside, and Sam begins ranting about all the hiding they've been doing and how she had to take off her engagement ring for the party. Clayton apologizes to her and asks her to come back inside with him to finally tell Lilith about...
Wait, what? They're engaged. Wait, I thought he was telling his friend he got a ring and marriage certificate or marriage license. I thought he meant he was now... Wait, if you got a marriage license, of course. I thought he was now going to propose to her, but was scared to because of his mom's disapproval. Wait, they are literally engaged and she has to take her engagement ring off at a party. And he had the audacity to ignore her. He's engaged to this girl. Like, she's not just his girlfriend. She's his fiancée. Okay. That makes it even worse that he just walked past her like she was no one to him. Like she was nothing. You're a grown man. Like you're a grown man. Be confident in your decision. What? Please, if a grown man treats you like this because he is scared to tell his parents or his friends, or he's scared about the disapproval of your relationship with him, with his parents or his friends, please, he's not the one for you. He's not. Like, if she wasn't a competent person, I don't think that his mom would have made her personal assistant, first of all. Yes, maybe he's scared because he thinks that his mom won't accept her because of maybe her social class or whatever. But, okay.
Of them, who of course doesn't take it well. She thinks Sam has been nothing but a liar, that only knowing each other for a year isn't enough to get married, and that Clayton is too young to marry anyway.
Who cares? Who cares if his mom does not agree? He's an old man. He's a grown adult. If he feels like he has the wisdom to choose which doctor should operate on him for his heart surgery, then he clearly has that same wisdom and maturity to choose his life partner, I guess. These are the sort of mothers that are like hawks. Like they feel like they are married to their sons and can't let them go. Look at what she's telling him. 1 year is not enough to know someone. I feel like 1 year is more than enough to know someone. I really honestly think that people know by within 6 months to 9 months if they want to be with someone for the rest of their lives. But because of societal pressures or because of societal judgment and stuff, people just go a longer way dating for 2, 3, 4 years before they propose or before they get married, But within 6 months, 9 months, most people know if they see a future with you. Honestly. Within 6 months, 9 months, most people know, especially if you're consistently dating, consistently courting, consistently seeing each other, going out. I'm not talking about maybe long distance relationships or people that are not consistent with you, people that are in and out of your life. No, I'm talking about people that are consistently dating, seeing each other weekly, daily, whatever. They know within 6 or 9 months. This mom is a hawk.
Disappointed, Clayton tells her he chooses Sam and leaves. Outside the house, Clayton starts to feel unwell, so Sam takes his pills from her bag and makes him take one as she apologizes for having made him choose. Clayton doesn't let her finish. Instead, he asks her to marry him right now in the middle of the night, which he accepts. Jack pulls some favors and gets them a minister that will marry them in such short notice and at such a crazy hour, and that minister accepts to bring his wife as Sam's witness while Jack will be Clayton's. The ceremony is short and sweet, and afterward,
the fact that we know that he's going to die makes this bold decision he has made to marry her, regardless of his mom's approval or not. In this ceremony, this intimate ceremony, I don't know, it just gives it more perspective. It makes the ceremony more, it makes him even more special, because we all know that he's going to die. We can tell the end from the beginning because of how the story started. It just makes this more special. You don't know when you're going to go, so make those important decisions you want to make now because tomorrow is not promised, and he's clearly made his choice now. Because he has nothing to lose. He might die. He has a heart condition. He might die sooner than people think. So why wait,
Couple goes back to Sam's place to make love. Their little celebration is suddenly interrupted when Clayton receives a very important message. A heart has finally been found for him. They rush to the hospital, where Jack introduces Sam to the team that will be operating on Clayton, Dr. Putnam, and Nurse Penny Carver. Clayton also learns that his mother is there. She was called because her name was on Clayton's call sheet. Lilith has brought Dr. Nair with her again, trying to convince Clayton to let him do the surgery instead of some second-hand doctor. But after watching Jack and Nair snark at each other, Clayton still turns down.
This is one of the only things I agree with his mom on, honestly. This person you want to operate on you has formal practice lawsuits pending. In this scenario, look, I would take my mom's advice because what? It's not like he doesn't know. Like he clearly knows that this man has formal malpractice lawsuits against him. And it's almost like he's given himself up as a sacrificial lamb. Or just as like evidence to this man's pending malpractice cases, you know? Like, oh Lord.
On the offer and leaves to get ready for the procedure while Sam waits in the awkward company of Lilith, who
Good.
refuses her help when she gives her a tip on how to make the vending machine work. In the operating room, Jack and Putnam are surprised to hear that their usual anesthesiologist couldn't make it because he was sick, so instead they'll be working with Dr. Larry Lupin. This worries Putnam, but Jack assures him things will still be the same. Lupin swiftly injects the anesthesia into Clayton's body, and he slowly goes under, closing his eyes and thinking of Sam. His happy thoughts are interrupted when he notices he can still hear the doctors talking and touching his chest. He's suffering from anesthesia awareness. He wants to warn the doctors of this, but he can't. It's only his mind that is awake, not his body. This means that when the procedure finally begins, Clayton feels all the excruciating pain from being cut open. He tries to distract himself by thinking of Sam and all their moments together, but suddenly his memories change to the night his father died, his burial, returning to school, taking over the company, and meeting Jack when he had his first attack. The doctors accidentally break one of Clayton's ribs when opening his chest, but at least they're inside now, so the worst of the pain is over. Clayton continues to think about the day he met Jack, how he invited him to his office after the operation because allegedly he likes to do a follow-up with patients he saved. Those memories are followed by Sam being hired by his mother and...
I can't imagine this. I just can't imagine this happening to... What? Like, it's different if, you know, you are experiencing this, if it's not like a life-threatening operation or if people are not cutting you open. But if it's an operation where like you are being cut open, you know, they are actually playing with your most vital organ, your heart. And you are still alive. Oh my goodness. And I feel like the way he is replaying his whole life is just it's a foreshadow of him dying. You know, it's like he's just replaying his whole life, how his life has gone, the love of his life, how he met the people that are important to him, his dad dying. Like, he's just replaying momentous events in his life. It's like, it's a foreshadow of what is coming, that he is going to die, you know? Like, he's on his deathbed, just remembering how he has lived on earth. Wow. After this, I'm really going to research on, I'm going to research on YouTube and stuff, like, if there are real life people that this happened to, and, like, if it's been documented and what happened to them. Did they survive? Did they die? Like, what happened? Did they sue the hospital? Wow. And I just realized that his friend, his best friend, Jake or Jack, the doctor, has in fact operated on him before, right? So this is like the second time he's operating on him. But I still wouldn't give him that chance when there are four more. I mean, he's already on the bed. What can we do? Let's continue. He's already in operation.
How they got to know each other better. This helps him ignore the doctor's talk. Meanwhile, in the waiting room, Sam and Lilith are awkwardly sitting away from each other.
Imagine the pain he's going through.
A doctor comes by and tries to hit on Sam, saying he's seen her around before, but she cuts him off by showing him her wedding ring. This is the way Lilith learns about the wedding, causing her to get even angrier. A moment later, Sam accidentally drops her bag on the ground and a bunch of pill bottles rolls out of it. She explains to Lilith that they're all Clayton's, and he likes her carrying them around so she can stop him from eating them like candy, which could cause him to odd. She also asks to please approve of them because Clayton can't lose another parent, and Lilith finally gives in, telling Sam to take care of him as she hugs her. Back in the operating room, Clayton continues to think about Sam while the new heart arrives. Jack and Putnam tell Lupin to take a break since he won't be needed
That
for a while.
had
And as
looked
soon as
so
he leaves,
fake, but
Jack
anyway.
confesses he's extremely worried because he thinks Lupin has been sent to spy on them and there's a chance someone learned they've been pushing Clayton down on the donor list. After sending Penny to keep an eye on Lupin and try to find out what happened to their usual anesthesiologist, Putnam asks Jack to stop being paranoid and follow their plan. He must poison the heart by injecting doxorubicin in it to trigger rejection and kill Clayton. Shocked by this betrayal, Clayton stands up from the operating table and disconnects his body from the bypass. But it's just an illusion, his body is still on the table, and it is his spirit that got separated. Clayton is now having an out-of-body experience. He starts thinking about all his time together with Jack and all the clues he should have seen before, like Jack always complaining about all the lawsuits from patients and their strong reaction to having a new anesthesiologist. In the waiting room, Sam tells Lilith she'll try to...
Oh my God, so is he now... I get it. Like, even somebody is your best friend, you don't want to believe the worst about them, you know. So of course, if they are going through something, your first incline will want to be supportive of them, be on their side. But I feel like, you know, love is not blind. Loving someone doesn't mean you should be blind. You know, you should. I feel like the best friendships are the friendships that the two people are brutally honest with each other. So all along, he was really practicing things that, like, are negligent or things that are illegal or whatever. Oh, no.
Find out what's going on, since nobody has come to bring them any news yet. She asks a random doctor about it and is overheard by Lupin, who cuts in and tells her everything is fine. Sam is shocked to see this unknown man, especially when she notices the flask in his pocket. She points out Lupin isn't a regular worker from this hospital before rushing out of the room, taking advantage of Penny being distracted to enter the operating room and demand an explanation. Putnam tries to convince her everything is fine as Clayton's spirit begs her not to trust him, but things get strange when Sam asks for the usual anesthesiologist by name and gets angry when Penny says he backed out from their plan. It turns out Sam is part of the scheme as well, and she only married him so she could get his money, divide it among the medical team and pay off all the lawsuits. This is why a heart coincidentally appeared for him right after the wedding. Sam used to work as a nurse at...
What just happened? See, I was like, how does she know that this doctor is not a regular doctor here? And how does she have the power to just walk into an operating room? I was just wondering. See, I was like, how does she know? Like, what? How did she even know the room they were in? Because most of the time, when you go to a hospital, especially when it's a big hospital, I don't think a billionaire would go to some, I don't know, small side hospital. Remember, Clayton is a billionaire. And they're operating on a billionaire, right? So when you go to hospitals most of the time, I don't think you know every doctor on call. I mean, unless your father owns the hospital or unless you have like an illness that keeps you in the hospital every day or something. Okay, which maybe explains it. But still, the shock, I am like shooketh and shaketh. I'm like, what? She was part of the plan all along. Look, I take back what I said. Maybe Mama is always right. Maybe there was something about her that she couldn't put her finger on, because I take back what I said. I'm sorry, guys. I take back what I said. Mama sometimes is right. Especially when it comes to your life partner in friendships. Because I can't. You know, there's some friends that when you introduce your mom, especially, she's like, I don't like this person. And most of the time down the line, it turns out something happens and you're like, yeah, it just proves what your mom says. What? The betrayal. So wait, did they intentionally not fully administer the anesthesia to him? Like, or it's just by accident that it wasn't fully administered and he's still awake and he's found out all these things. Oh my God, I pray that there's a turnaround. I pray that he wakes up in some form. But just like the beginning, they say he's dead. I pray he's pretending to be dead or something. Oh Lord. Okay, now I'm excited to see what happens.
Jack's team, and she changed her name when the plan began. Jack is having doubts, even if this was his idea in the first place. He thinks he'd rather be poor than go to jail, but Sam scolds him and kicks him back into action. Clayton remembers his talks with his mother and realizes she was right before the excruciating pain starts again as his heart is removed from his body. Jack grabs the new heart and is about to put it in without poisoning it, but Sam cuts in and grabs the syringe herself before putting it on Jack's hand as she points out he started at all this and...
This girl is like the mastermind, like the devil himself in sheep's clothing. How? I feel so sad for this man. Ah. He was just like a fragile soul they took advantage of. People are wicked. Don't trust man. People are wicked. Hey.
Dragged his team with him, so he must also finish it. She doesn't leave the operating room until she's sure everything is according to plan, and once she sees the injection is in, she goes back to Lilith and tells her she has no news.
I was
Lilith
wondering...
can sense something is wrong, but Sam calms her down.
Yeah, I mean, she's his mother. She can sense something is wrong. I was wondering if his mother was wondering where she was, because she spent a ton of time outside, inside the operation room. Hey, man is wicked, oh. What? Nah, this was a plot twist I wasn't expecting.
By telling her Clayton won't die because he has too much to live for. After seeing the love of the life leaving so coldly, Clayton's real eye expels a tear. When Lupin comes back, Clayton's spirit tries to make him notice to no avail. The doctors pretend to be surprised in front of Lupin when the new heart suddenly fails, and they try to restart it by using defibrillator paddles and a shot of adrenaline, but nothing happens. Clayton is now dead. Jack and Lupin go to tell the news to the family, but Jack quickly leaves after Lilith blames him for what happened. Lupin asks her for permission to turn off the bypass, which is technically keeping his body alive. The blood is being pumped by a machine. He has no heart, and they can't find a new one with such rare blood type on such short notice. Hearing this upsets Lilith even more and asks for a moment to be alone with her.
So wait. So that means all along and pretended to operate on him. That means their plan was murder all along, right? Because when Lupin came in, they pretended like the new heart they got did not work. Hey. Wow. Because at some point, they put the heart into him and then they removed it. That's when he started having those, he started shouting, his spirit started shouting, right? Hi! Man is wicked. Nah. This plot twist, I wasn't expecting it, honestly.
Thoughts. Clayton's spirit is currently on an illusion version of his house, and he sees his mother arrive at the same time Lupin finds Lilith dead in the cafeteria. She has owed it herself on purpose to give her heart to her son, since they both have the same blood type. Dr. Nair also arrives and gets ready to do the surgery himself, advising Jack and his team to run because the police is coming. He even knows they...
She sacrificed herself for her son. Wow. But wait, can you use a heart, like a drugged heart? I don't know if... Because she OD'd. She intentionally OD'd, right? Overdosed to die. Is that a healthy heart? I mean, I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. It's like, would you use a drunkard's kidney for a kidney transplant? Do you get it? Because the whole point, the drunkard drinks a lot, and drinking is one of the things that really affects the kidney. So if a drunkard was to die, a habitual drinker was to die today, and somebody needed a kidney transplant, they were the same match and everything, will doctors still use that kidney? Do you get what I'm saying? Because in this point, she took drugs and died. Do drugs affect the heart in a way? Because, her heart stopped, so of course she died, right? That's just by the way. So wait, that means she didn't give them permission to take him off life support technically. when Lupin asked, because she intentionally killed herself so that her son could be saved. So that means he's still there. Okay, that I feel like this guy is going to live at the end. Let's continue watching and see what happens.
Poison the heart. As the procedure begins, Lilith's spirit tells Clayton how she figured it out. Sam forgot her purse, and while looking for her son's medicine, Lilith found Sam's mail with her real name and the logo of a medical school. This made her remember little details like that one doctor thinking he had seen her around the hospital before, Sam knowing the tricks behind the vending machine, and that Lupin didn't work there. She didn't have time to warn anyone since Clayton was dying, so she did what she had to do, and her plan is a success. Nair transplants the heart with no issue, and Clayton lives again. Meanwhile, Putnam and Penny try to leave, but Lupin sees them and warns the police, who...
See, they intentionally poisoned the hat. Like his hat the first time. Does that mean, at this point, did he even have like a heart disease? Or it was just something that maybe his friend told him he had? Because remember that Jack, his best friend, was the first person that operated on him, right? What if, like, all along it was just a lie that they even told him? Probably he doesn't even have, okay, no, if he didn't have a heart condition, I don't think the mom would have killed, like, they are billionaires. I'm sure they sought, like, several, maybe I'm just thinking too much into it, but, like, they sought several opinions to come to that conclusion that he, in fact, has a heart problem. This movie was, like, all over the place, but in quite a good way, like, in the unexpected turns. Wow.
Immediately captures them. Jack is hiding in his office and tries to get Sam to hide with him, but she points out the police won't look for her because she wasn't part of the team during
How
the
are you
operation
hiding in
and
your
leaves the
office?
room. Not willing to let her get away with it, Jack goes to the door and locks it before showing her that he still has the syringe she touched, so now she is incriminated as well. As Dr. Nair closes Clayton's chest, his heart suddenly fails. His spirit wants to stay with his mother because he isn't as strong as his father. To convince him he needs to go back, Lilith forces him to remember what truly happened
needs
the
to
night
go
years
back
ago.
and take
His dad
revenge.
was an abusive addict that always hit Lilith. When he tried to do the same to Clayton, Lilith stabbed him with a fireplace poker, causing him to fall down the stairs. She let Clayton block the memory because she thought that would protect him from the pain, but she now realizes it only made things worse, and she should have told him she never wanted Clayton to be like him. She wants him to be better and has always been proud of him. Coming to terms with this and finally finding closure, Clayton comes back to the world of the living as the doctors restart his heart with a defibrillator.
That was another twist I wasn't expecting. Look, so like that's the third twist. And the fourth is, of course, him living, not actually dying, like the beginning of the movie said. Because the way the movie started, it made it seem as if he was dying. So the first one was when his friend betrayed him when he was on the operation table, them poisoning his heart. The second one was finding out that Samantha, his supposed wife, Samantha whatever her name is, because that's not her real name, is part of the whole plan to kill him, to murder him, and get, his fortune. Third one is the mother finding out from Samantha's bag that she's actually a nurse and she has a different name. Fourth, what was the fourth plot twist? The fourth plot twist was she killing herself and then she telling him about how his dad really died. Nah, I feel like this movie is good. I love it. If I was watching a movie like this, I would literally might go look for the full movie and watch it. Wow.
Now we're back at the beginning of the story, with Jack in his office thinking about what he did to Clayton. The police come to arrest him after they captured Sam at the stairs.
Exactly.
But
Did he
Jack
think
is
he
in
could
haste.
escape?
He thinks the only thing that matters now is that Clayton is awake. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.
I'm sorry, what? He thinks the only thing that matters now is that his friend that he tried to just murder is awake. Like, does he have a right to even think about his friend anymore? Does he have that right? I get it. He was feeling guilty at some point and Samantha was the one pushing it more. But no, that doesn't excuse his behavior. No, this movie's plot twist, I would give this movie a solid 8.5 out of 10. Even a 9, possibly. But 8.5 out of 10 because, of course, we've not watched the full movie. But nah, The plot twist, this is something I would have really enjoyed watching, like a full movie of. Wow. And I've learned something, that 21 million people are put under anesthesia, and about 30,000 of them sometimes do not fall asleep. Some of them are fully awake, like fully conscious. Wow. I need to go do more research, watch some documentaries on that, because I am just fascinated by that and what happens next after they find out, you know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you've watched the full movie and perhaps this recap missed some things, you know, let us know in the comments. Give us paragraphs. Give us some comments. Like, let us read. Want to know more about the movie. And since you enjoyed this video, please do like the video and don't forget to subscribe. Bye, guys.